Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and I have something that you're just not going to see every day. This is not a fake. This is not some big model that I have at my house. This is a real 2005 Indy car. Now, let me tell you a little bit of history about the Indy Car Series. Indy Car Series is America's open wheel series. Been going around for decades. It's a little different than Formula One, even though the cars look very similar. What I love about the Indy Car Series is that the guys don't just race on road courses, they also do oval events. And obviously the big one that everybody knows is the Indianapolis 500. I'm proud to say that I have for you today this car that was driven by Tony Kannan back in 2005 at the Brickyard that was sat on pole. This was the fastest car during the time trials weeks and sat on the pole. It is one hell of a piece of machinery. One thing I want to point out before we get into the actual car is I want to show you, coming up 2018, just a couple months, we have the St Pete Grand Prix. You're going to see cars similar to this, just the newer styles, which you definitely want to be there because for 2018, the Indy cars are all new. They redesigned them. St Pete Grand Prix, the current alteration with the track that goes down the airport runways and in downtown St. Pete has been going on for 14 years. You could just see that this thing is made for speed. Let me go ahead and show you the front here. One thing a lot of people don't realize is that the technology that these guys are doing on the track winds up making it to the streets. One thing you'll notice with this front wing, it's made out of carbon fiber. There was once upon a time where only race cars had carbon fiber. Now you can get carbon fiber in any kind of street car from the factory. Another thing that's amazing about these wings, they're fully adjustable. So when the car comes into the pits, it's not just about changing the tires, it's not just about fueling up the car. The team can make tons of adjustments both at the front and the rear of the car depending on what the car does, because as the car goes, it's going to use fuel and that's going to change the balance of the car. Let me go ahead and take you to the side over here. One thing I've always loved about these cars is what the driver gets to experience. If you look at this car, it is made for speed. Full carbon fiber. I really love the steering wheel. Lots of readouts and telemetry of the car. The driver not only has the ability to obviously do all the controls that you normally think of, but inside the car, the driver can actually balance the brake bias. He can do some minor adjustments if he feels the car is changing. Check out the suspension on this car. You have, if you're looking for shocks somewhere, if you're saying, hey, where's the shocks? These are inboard mounted shocks. They're actually mounted horizontally. They're not vertically like on your normal street car. There are some street cars like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and whatnot that are using that technology, but that's what this thing is. It's about cutting through the air so efficiently to get that speed. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. As you can see, all of this was done in a wind tunnel. All of the lines, the bodywork is kept nice and tight. Check out this rear wing here. This wing is not the wing that features the car during the Indianapolis 500. This is a road course wing. Both the front and the rear wings are changeable. And with this setup, this is full road course. On an oval track setup, the wings are actually not going to be as big because remember, wings are great for downforce, but they also create a lot of drag. Let me take you around the back. Back here you have the rear transmission and differential. This is also where you're going to attach the starter. These teams, there's lots of engineers, lots of pit crew that make these cars happen. You could see just the tunnel work, everything fully featured. It's just an amazing setup, and this is something that you don't see very often. Let's go back to the side here. Like I said, this is the pinnacle of open wheel racing. If you stay tuned in a few weeks, I'm going to be doing some video vlogging about what does it take if you want to be an open wheel race car driver. How do you get involved in this type of stuff? You know, it's different than NASCAR, and there's a ladder system to it. I got to experience most of that ladder system. I never made it to Indy cars, but I've been in the lower strungs of the ladder, Formula Ford, Formula V, Formula Mazda. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to bring that to you. Check out my Instagram channel, Raiti's Rides. Definitely want to visit my website, raitisrides.com. And if you have something you want to see featured on Raiti's Rides, even if it's an amazing race car or some amazing street car, leave a comment, send me an email. And just like always, guys, I'll see you hopefully at the St. Pete Grand Prix coming up in March, and I'll see you on the next ride.